What happened in New York City sparked outrage across the country. Local police here in the Washington area are commenting on social media with badges up for the officers murdered. Stephanie Ramirez spoke with area police and D.C. Ferguson protesters who are now condemning the killing of the two NYPD officers.
Today, Metropolitan Police Chief Kathy Lanier, calling it shocking and reprehensible, told WUSA9 in a statement, among other things, this was a tragic reminder that police officers are vulnerable at all times simply because of the uniform we wear. The chief went on to write their hearts go out to the victims' families, and some Ferguson protesters in D.C. agree. I reached out to the group online with a handful responding.
It's unfortunate. We live in a society that has a culture of violence, and so we don't want to see anything happen to anybody.
But Salim Adafo, a D.C. Ferguson protest organizer with the group National Black United Front, says what's frustrating for him has to do with news of the suspect's social media account showing posts of anti-police sentiments, along with the names Eric Garner and Mike Brown.
Well, one of the things to me that is troubling is the kind of coverage that it gets, and it makes it seem as though this is a direct result of some of the protests, and we just don't know all of the facts.
While the NYPD continues to investigate this, Devin Barrington-Ward says it's not something to be ignored.
The overwhelming majority of the folks in our community are not going to take that frustration and make it violent, but the frustration does exist.
Barrington-Ward with Black Youth Project 100 has participated in some of the D.C. Ferguson rallies here. He also calls what happened yesterday unfortunate, but tells me
this doesn't distract from the narrative, or shouldn't distract from the narrative that Black Lives Matter and that there needs to be some serious reforms.
But we still just got to keep organizing.
And protesters say they will continue to rally behind that cause. The group D.C. Ferguson Movement actually has a protest scheduled for tomorrow at 4 o'clock outside of the Department of Justice. In D.C., Stephanie Ramirez, WUSA9 News.
In New York City, Brooklyn's borough president called for a stop to the demonstrations, the protests, until the slain officers are laid to rest.